happiness equation. That's why we keep having Neil Pasricha come back here.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
You got the key. You got the answer. We have an issue, and this is happening all around the world, and we're busy. We're too busy.
We're too busy.
It used to be a cool thing to say, oh, I can't make it, I'm busy. Now it's just there's too much going on.
There's too much going on.
You can't get anything done.
No, and you're right. It used to be a cool thing to say. Now it's like, it's not that cool anymore. We're getting on average 147 emails a day.
Right.
We are touching our cell phones, according to D-Score, a research magazine, touching our cell phones over 2,000 times a day. 2,000 times a day. And we're making about 300 decisions a day.
Right.
So we're navigating all these like yes, no, should I, shouldn't I options all day. We're becoming so exhausted, and our busyness is getting in the way of our happiness.
Right, okay, so the focus of this is to figure out how to take away some of that busyness, because we do have control. You say we all have a chop choice.
We have a chop choice. We have to eliminate, we have to chop 3 things from our lives consciously.
Okay.
We have to chop decisions, we have to chop time, and we have to chop access. Okay.
Right.
So how do we do that? Do you want me to talk about each one?
I want you to talk about each one.
Decisions is about like how many choices you're making on a given day. You remember when I was on the show last time, I wore the same thing? I wore the same thing.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, well, I wear the same thing on every time I'm on any show or any time I'm on any stage.
Well, did you want to tell them all that?
Because there's a couple things that are different, but the point is like the same jacket, the same belt that my wife gave me, the same shoes, because it's a decision I don't have to make every morning when I'm doing some media.
You were wearing those banana socks.
You remember the socks. It's amazing. Your memory is astounding, but it's great. And how did I get here? I have no idea. I followed the Waze traffic app.
Yeah.
You know, it sends me down a dark alley. Fine, I'm good with that. I just don't think about which way I'm going to go to work, which way I'm going to get home anymore.
Okay.
Chop choice, chop the amounts of choices you're making all day. It's a great example, what Bruce was talking about earlier, about the leftovers for lunch the next day.
Yeah.
Can you automate lunch? No one's sending out these emails with voting buttons on it. Do you want to go to Harvey's or Swiss Chalet?
Yes.
Who's going to drive? Forget it.
Yeah.
Just have leftovers.
Okay.
Less choices. The first thing you need to chop is choice.
Get rid of the options.
Too many options.
That's very interesting, because some people might say if you put everything on automatic, isn't that going to make your brain a little lazy? Shouldn't you always be firing it up?
Well, it frees your mind to focus on the bigger things that matter. And a problem is, according to Harvard psychologist Daniel Gilbert, we actually choose options that contain the most choices. So we want to go to the movie theater with the most movies playing. We like going to the restaurant with the biggest menu, but that is getting in the way of our happiness. We should all go eat at Ruby Watchco in Leslieville, because there's no menu.
There's no menu.
You just get what you get. Or go to the movie theater that has one movie playing. Then you will be happy with it. You had no choice, right? Less choice.
It's a very good
more
point.
Happiness.
I think that there was a time when people were happier with much less, and it's getting to be that you don't even know, you can't even find your happiness anymore.
Exactly.
So that's very interesting. Okay, now you're saying, you say chop time.
Time. We have too much time in our lives to do things. So there's a law called Parkinson's Law.
Okay.
Work rises to fill the time available for its completion. If you have an essay due in 2 weeks, you'll hand it in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And if you ever sit in a class where the professor says, hey everyone, I'm going to give you an extra week for your homework, and you've already been done your homework, you're like, no, now I have to revisit this for another week.
Yes.
Do only nerds do their homework on Sunday night? On Friday night, sorry? Yes, but they're the only ones with the whole weekend to party.
That's right.
Move the homework to Friday. Have the weekend free. Move time out of the equation. Move your deadlines ahead. Another example is Leslie and I, my wife and I, live in an old house. Something breaks in our house every day. A stone gets wobbly, a light bulb breaks, the toilet's making noises. It used to bog us down. But now we chop the amount of time we have. We say the first Saturday of every month, that morning is chores morning.
Yes.
And because we do that, the other 29 days of the month, we don't think about it. We don't think about it. We just chop the amount of time we have, and we put it all in that one little regulated window.
The problem that I have, we'll just turn this into a therapy session, is that I find that the information is coming at me so fast and furiously, if I don't get to it right away, I'm going to forget it. So what do you do about, like, and that could be anything. That could be emails from my kids' teachers. It could be something for work. It could be calling my mom back.
Yeah. Well, let's take your email example. Okay, a lot of people feel that way. Emails come in all the time. You got to respond. I actually partnered with a productivity expert to research the happiness equation. We found that if you check email only 2 hours a day, 9 to 10 a.m. and 4 to 5 p.m., those are the best 2 hours to check. You give everyone the perception that you're always on email, yet you create a 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. 6-hour email-free window in the middle of your day. All you did was reduce the amount of time you had for email. 10 a.m., 4 p.m. But you made 6 hours of like this oasis in the middle of your day. No one needs to know that. They think you're still replying to them.
And in a perfect world, those 2 hours that you're spending on it in the beginning and the end of the day, you're more efficiently using your time. Because if we're checking all the time, you're not really taking in the information, and you're not doing everything you need to do.
Well, exactly, and that brings me to my third and final point, which is about chopping access. According to McKinsey, we are spending 30% of our days doing exactly what you just said: bookmarking, prioritizing, and switching between tasks. So you're like, do I want to check my Facebook message, but I've got a text and my phone's ringing? That's a switching that your brain is doing, and it's exhausting us. So chopping access means take all the ways people can access you. I just mentioned 3 of them, but you also got Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever you've got, and chop them down to 1 or 2 that you can control.
How do you do that?
You close off the social media account that you use the least to start with. I know it sounds like dangerous.
What do you mean right now? What are you saying?
I'm talking about the fact that we're on too many different platforms and systems, and we're switching between them all, and that is exhausting us.
It is exhausting.
Yes, it is. And so
I didn't think there was another way.
People that are watching that work at their desk in the office, and people are tapping them on the shoulder or sending them Office Communicator, delete the Office Communicator program and work in the cafeteria or in a boardroom where people can't find you. Eliminate the number of ways people can access you. And if you eliminate choice, time, and access, you will be less busy and have more time to be happy.
These are good points. It's just hard to do this.
I didn't say it was easy.
I know, but it's good. It's good. Very good information there. You've got a new TED Talk happening now, and it's all about living a better life in the time that we have, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's called How Do You Maximize Your Tiny Short Life? And I asked...
Your tiny short life?
Sorry, but it's pretty short.
So pathetic.
We all have 30,000 days total. I'm sorry, Tracy, that's what we got. You know, and how do you maximize that time that we have?
Yes.
And by the way, around the world, it's 25,000. We get an extra 5,000 just for being in Canada.
So don't waste it.
Don't waste them. Be happy.
All right. I love that.